Peep Kenobi urges you to like this video and subscribe or he will lose the high ground. This church in Reykjavik looks like a building from Skyrim. My grandpa made this table all by himself, from literal scratch. He cut down the trees, made his own plank saw, cut the planks and blocks, and assembled and decorated the table. From tree to table, all by his hand. Some roads in Australia are so long and boring that they have trivia signs to keep drivers alert. Fatigue zone. Keep playing trivia. It may save your life. Fatigue zone. Question. Floral emblem of Queensland? Fatigue zone. Answer. The Cooktown orchid. This guy caught a yellow catfish. Harry the tortoise, who died in 2006, had seen Charles Darwin in person. Donetsk International Airport in 2012, then in 2015. Got a flat tire after running over a 5.56. This awesome fish tank. Gary Oldman's transformation for the 2001 movie, Hannibal. The true size of Africa, United States, Europe, China, India, Japan. A 28-year-old Jenny Joseph posing for the Columbia Pictures logo 1992. These are some of the parents of LGBT children who took part in the first Pride Parade 1973. A puppy saved from a fire becomes a firefighter. A girl with both albinism and heterochromia. A large strawberry squid. They live in the twilight zone of the ocean. 200 meters to 1000 meters deep. Beautiful Betis viper has a mini ghost on its head. The safety pin to the atomic bomb Fat Man, which was dropped on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. Shortly after pulling this, at least 40,000 people were killed instantly. Now located in the Truman Presidential Library in Independence, Missouri. A rare photograph of the bombed Mian Buddha sculpture in Afghanistan, destroyed by the Taliban in 2001. She has symmetry heterochromia in both eyes. At 600 years old, this is the oldest astrological clock still in operation. Prague 1410. A skeleton was unearthed in the UK with a nail through the ankle bone. Incidents of crucifixion. My brother went to a trip to Egypt and saw mummified crocodiles exhibited in a museum. A Filipino baby and her family inside a human zoo in New York, US 1906. Same place. 125-year difference. Ristad, Norway. 1888. 2013. A picture that doesn't actually have any real curved lines. Company named Merry Meds just made a 3 feet wide, 15-inch tall brownie that weighs 850 pounds and contains 20,000 mg TCH in it. Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig, has the words "That's all folks" on his grave. They were his last words in real life and on TV. That's all folks. Mel Blanc, man of 1,000 voices, beloved husband and father. 1908 to 1989. The cost of delivering a baby in 1961. Ancient Egyptian socks, dating back to the Old Kingdom, 2675 to 2130 BCE. Last pic of Earth taken by NASA's Cassini spacecraft before it went on a death dive into Saturn. You are here. The bagworm moth caterpillar collects and saws little sticks to construct log cabins to live in. Chicago skyline visible from nearly 50 miles away in Indiana Dunes sunset. A train passes a railroad crossing that is surrounded by floodwaters in Frankfurt, Germany. And Hodges, the only human being in recorded history to be hit by a meteorite 1954. A Victorian era candle-lit Christmas tree. Late 1800s. Salt mounds in the Zagros Mountains of Iran. The Venezuelan poodle moth, discovered in 2009. China has sent a moon rover to investigate this cube-like object found on the far side of the moon. Interesting demonstration comparing the root system of prairie grass to agriculture. Removal of the grass led to the Dust Bowl days, when the drought arrived. Nature. Agriculture. Rainbow corn from Puebla, Mexico. Lost Pyramid. Nazabrak Peak. 5,200 meters. Found in extreme end of northeast Pakistan. This Congo tourmaline is cut in such a way that it looks like it's pixelated. A 4,852-year-old Brazil cone pine located in Inyo National Forest in eastern California, USA. The Castle of Rocca Calascio in Abruzzo, Italy, is the highest castle in the Apennines. Built in the 10th century, it is unusual as it was built to accommodate troops and never as a residence for nobility. Cosplayer at Sci-Fi Convention Worldcon in 1951. Archaeologists unearth mummy in Peru, estimated to be over 800 years old. A 1,000-year-old Viking battle axe, before and after restoration. In 1984, astronaut Bruce McCandless is seen floating above Earth. He is farther away from the safety of his spaceship than any astronaut had ever been. This was made possible by a jetpack on his back called the Manned Maneuvering Unit. After testing the unit, he was able to free fly 320 feet away. How wonderful. Amazing tree. Ficus microcarpa. In Fethiye, Turkey. After cracking a tooth, this tiger had a gold dental implant. Tunnels dug by a giant ground sloth, carved out approximately 10,000 years ago in Brazil. This is what a Spinosaurus tooth looks like. Although it doesn't look like much, this site is over 11,000 to 12,000 years old. It's Göbekli Tepe in southeastern Turkey, and it is the oldest religious site on Earth. Its pre-pottery Neolithic art, structure, and design gives humanity an insight into perhaps the earliest period of human civilization. A man looking for a book in the old Cincinnati Library, built in 1874 and demolished in 1955. Meet Megalodon, the only known albino humpback whale. The cost of an average chicken, 14 million bolivars, during Venezuelan hyperinflation, 2018. Salmon fish farms. Faroe Island. Vampire killing kit. 1890s. The armored skeleton of Saint Pancratius. Church of Saint Nicholas, Switzerland. 18th century. Ilda Cingano, also known as the Release from Deception, sculpted from a single block of marble by Francesco Quiralo in the 18th century. It reportedly took him 7 years to fabricate this marble net, which he crafted without a workshop, apprentice, or other form of external assistance. The ancient paving of the city of Eris, Sicily. Before its closure in 1998, Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport was known as one of the most difficult to fly into. The airport was located right in the city and planes required a 45-degree turn to line up with the runway, literally flying in between high-rise buildings to land. Queen Isabel II, veiled, 1855 CE, work of Camillo Torrigiani. Special effect of marble is achieved from the way sculptor let light and shadows play tricks to our eyes to make us believe it was see-through, just like real lace. blue whales are commonly compared to the size of a basketball court. Proportionally, they also boast the largest phallus, ranging from 8 to 10 feet, 2.5 to 3 meters, with a 1 foot diameter. Not only this, but each tentacle can weigh up to 150 pounds. Construction worker walks past the World Trade Center's steel skeleton 1970. A Victorian archery outfit belonging to Mrs. Fanny Javine, circa 1855, now part of the collection of the Museum of London. Chernobyl nuclear power plant control room. TDIL volcano snails are a thing. Their shells are made of iron sulfides and they live around hydrothermal vents that can reach up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Tutankhamun's 3,300-year-old sandals. Central Park, New York 1930. Hugo Gernsback, the inventor of television glasses in 1950. For a few minutes today there were 19 people in space, the most there has ever been. The Blue Moline floating dry dock moving a 100,000-ton oil rig from South Korea to Texas. The Blue Moline is designed to sink beneath another ship or vessel and then float back up, lifting the other vessel with it, allowing it to easily transport the other vessel. Incredible engineering. 213 feet tall Rubbish Mountain, India. Foot bicycles 1898. 2,300-year-old Scythian woman's boot found in frozen Altai Mountains, Mongolia. They don't make them like they used to. NB. London's narrowest house, some 1.65 meters wide, in Goldhawk Road. On sale for £950,000, $1,257,000. Here is an origami golden scaled dragon that I made from one uncut 72 cm square of paper, infused with real 24 karat gold leaf, folded over a 3-month period. John Clem was a 12-year-old sergeant in the Civil War, the youngest NCO in US history. He retired from the Army in 1915, at the rank of 1-star general. A photo of Jack's Saloon in Hot Springs, Arkansas 1935. In the original stories, Sherlock Holmes was addicted to cocaine. When the author, Conan Doyle, learned about the dangers of cocaine, he wrote that Holmes had quit cocaine by being gradually weaned off of it by Watson. Oldest surviving by genes from 1880 said to be in pristine condition. David Latimer planted a tiny garden in a large glass bottle in 1960 and sealed it. He opened the bottle 12 years later, in 1972, to add some water, and then sealed it permanently. The self-sustaining ecosystem has thrived for nearly 60 years. How is that even possible? The fiddlestring snake, its eyes take up 26% of its head. While mildly venomous, it poses no threat to humans. Paper magnified by 100 times. This gorgeous hand-carved yellow sandstone window in Jaisalmer Fort. On December 8, 2021, a vehicle entered the Niagara Falls River and has been edging closer to the brink. Derinkoyo, Turkey, ancient deepest underground city in the world, 85 meters depth. Almost 20,000 people lived here. The oldest spider in the world, Gaius Phyllis, at 43 years. It dates back roughly 180 million years. The Langmen Grottos, a Buddhist cave complex located 13 kilometers south of Luoyang in China's Henan province, form some of the most significant and exquisite representations of ancient Chinese stone art. Thermal camera image of horses in Iceland. Victorian leather and velvet boots 1890. This is a permanent shadow of man at the exact moment the atomic bomb went off in Hiroshima in 1945. Stegosaurus, a newly discovered Chilean ankylosaur with an axe-like tail. Leopelica, a French automobile produced between 1919 to 1925. Temple Viet, the mayor city of Tikal, Guatemala. 187 feet. 57 meters high. Circa 700 CE. This is a cake. Single atom caught in an iron trap. The longest possible train journey. Portugal to Vietnam. Say hello to the newly named species Hombodontis. They are the immediate ancestors of modern humans. Best plate of Antoine Fravo, struck, and quite obviously killed, by a cannonball, serving in Napoleon's army at the Battle of Waterloo, June 1815. Sculpture of a pillow created by Hakan Anton Fagerus. My tarantula's fluffy foot. The 16th century Sisharaya Mandapam, at the Sri Ranganathaswamy temple in India, is an intricately carved hall built during the Niagara rule period. This footprint in Jura, France, left 155 million years ago by a 35 feet long theropod. The spaceship model from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. White Giraffe. At $8.3 million for around 40 milligrams, the British Diana 1C Magenta is the world's most expensive object by weight. It's the postage stamp from 1856, the only one of its kind. December 25, 1914, World War I Christmas truce. British and German soldiers made peace for 2 days to exchange cheerful conversations, food, souvenirs, etc. The Germans won the soccer match 2-1. Cactus can grow big. This plant can easily outlive humans and can reach up to 60 feet and weigh from 3,200 to 4,800 pounds. Roman sleeve collar, 4th century AD inscription. I have fled, hold me, when you bring me back to my masters on Innis you receive a solidus. My daughter's ultrasound clearly shows reptar in her head. A genuine $100 trillion banknote from the time of Zimbabwe's hyperinflation. American Marines speed away from USS Sheridan on a landing barge approaching the Japanese-held island of Terror Gilbert Islands, in the Pacific, 1943. The Arizona bark scorpion will glow with a blue color when exposed to UV lights. The usual level of snow in winter on the road in Fukuoka, Russia. Now that's a big crab claw. Facial reconstruction of Napoleon. A normal high-speed train yard in a tier 2 city in China. Side profile of a high-level bodybuilder sitting on a chair. A gravestone in North Leith Burial Ground, Edinburgh, Scotland. Image from 1898 of a security guard with a moon model at the Field Columbian Museum. Prepared by Johann Friedrich Julius Schmidt, Germany. Made of 116 sections of plaster on a framework of wood and metal. A group of students attending the Charles W. Howard Santa Claus School in Midland, Michigan. The National Museum of Qatar. The Pale Blue Dot. On February 14, 1990, the Voyager 1 space probe was commanded by NASA to turn around and take one last photo of our solar system before leaving it forever. The tiny blue dot is Earth. In 1983, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia donated to the United Nations, UN, a portion of the covering of the door of the Kaaba, and it was placed in their headquarters in New York. Size of outer shells and inner cluster bombs of US bombs that were dropped in the hundreds of millions on Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia by the US for decades, and are still being dug out of countryside till today. The road to Loma Magna, an endless straight road going through a black desert made of volcanic ash. A close-up of a camel's eye. Gene Winfield reactor car steering wheel. Trucks and houses buried in volcanic ash after an eruption of Mount Semeru in East Java, Lumajang, Indonesia. This is the longest bridge in the world, the Hong Kong to Hai Mak Khao Bridge. Gibraltar International Airport is the only international airport in the world that intersects with a road for cars, and this road is closed during the takeoff and landing of planes. We found these weird gelatinous hard shapes in the ocean and put them back in the water immediately. Apparently they are sea pork. Mayfield, Kentucky tornado aftermath. Fossilized dinosaur track near Moab, Utah, USA. God's control board. The labels say eclipse, stellar crown, sunset, sunrise, stars, clouds, aurora borealis, etc. Among others, there are also tumbler switches for fireworks and red flag. Old Soviet planetarium. Megalodon jaws compared with a great white shark with Dr. Jeremiah Clifford, who specializes in fossil reconstruction. For size comparison, Megalodon was the largest shark to ever live and was from the Miocene era, thankfully millions of years ago. 80 years ago, the attack on Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941. Below is a copy of the actual message sent from Pearl Harbor, High to Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, and then on to Washington DC, informing them that they are under attack. Mum is being sold in Egypt, 1875. Two dissected reindeer eyes, the left from an animal killed in winter, the right one in summer, showing the tapetum lucidum, a layer that sits behind the retina, helping animals to see in dim lighting conditions. The Toyota Motor Triathlon race car, a forgotten concept. Villa Caprarella is a mansion in the town of Caprarella in the province of Viterbo, Italy. The project was initiated by then Cardinal Alessandro Farnese, from the powerful Farnese family, in 1504. The rooms are named after iconography which is vividly depicted on the walls and ceilings. Merging black holes may create bubbles that could swallow the universe.